All right, today we're jumping into something, well, it's a really unusual one. We're looking at a source that connects two things you would probably never put in the same sentence: the Jeffrey Epstein scandal and a moral framework based on Islamic teachings. Yeah, it's a fascinating and pretty out there argument, so let's get right into it.
So the source material we're digging into, it's filled with these little, almost cryptic fragments. You see words like powerful, recording, data center. It immediately gives you this vibe of, conspiracy and high-tech secrets. It's hinting at really powerful people, secret recordings, huge stashes of data. It's a heck of a hook, right? It just pulls you straight into the middle of this massive modern scandal.
Okay, so before we can even get to the wild twist in this argument, we first have to get a handle on how the source actually frames the scandal itself. So, let's break down the key people and places it really zeroes in on.
Right at the center of this whole thing, the source points to Jeffrey Epstein. And it's interesting how they describe him. He's not just some guy. They're very specific, calling him a finance expert. That one detail immediately places him in this world of incredible wealth and power. And then they hit you with the core allegations about trafficking underage girls.
And this is where you really see the world of the scandal, as the source lays it out. It's not just about one person, it's this whole ecosystem. You've got a very specific, almost infamous location, Little St. James Island. You've got these connections to celebrities in this powerful elite class, and holding it all together is this almost mythical idea of the files. These secret records that could bring it all crashing down.
Okay, now we're getting into the nitty-gritty. The source doesn't just stick to broad ideas, it starts naming names. And, this is crucial, it adds this very modern technological layer to the whole thing.
And I mean, it doesn't pull any punches. The source is super explicit, naming these huge public figures and linking them directly to the story. Ghislaine Maxwell is, of course, also named as a central player. By putting these names out there, the source is basically saying, hey, this isn't some abstract theory. We're talking about the real-world events and people you've seen all over the headlines.
And here's that modern twist I was talking about. According to this source, this wasn't some simple, old-school operation. No way. It alleges there was this incredibly sophisticated surveillance system in place. We're talking CCTV, massive data centers, even artificial intelligence to manage all the information. It really paints a picture of a cold, calculated, tech-fueled blackmail machine.
All right, so just to recap, we've got this picture of a massive high-tech scandal involving the world's elite. Now, normally you'd expect an analysis like this to dig into, the legal fallout or the political drama, right? But this is where the source takes a hard left turn into totally unexpected territory.
And it makes you wonder, what if a scandal this huge isn't just about a few bad laws or corrupt people? What if it's a symptom of something much, much deeper, a kind of moral sickness? And if that's the real problem, where on earth do you even begin to look for a solution?
And this is the source's answer. The entire narrative just pivots. It shifts completely away from the scandal and dives headfirst into a discussion about personal morality, all framed through the lens of Islam and the Quran. So you see, the source isn't just changing the topic for no reason. It's actually proposing that the cure, the antidote to the chaos of the files, lies in a completely different way of looking at the world. So, okay, the source has laid out the problem, a world of scandal and what it sees as complete moral collapse. Now it's going to present its solution. It's putting forward a very specific framework for how to live a moral life.
And the absolute core of this framework is a concept the source calls personal life. Now, it defines this as a principle that comes straight from the Quran, and it's all about consciously controlling your day-to-day emotions. The argument is that this control is the key, not just to being a good person, but to your actual physical health and fitness too.
Man, this slide really just lays it all out, doesn't it? The contrast is so stark. On one side, you have the world of the files, celebrities, zero emotional control, public scandal, grooming, the whole mess. And on the other side, you've got this proposed Islamic framework, morality based on the Quran, control of your emotions, and this intense focus on your personal life. The source is basically presenting these as two completely opposite paths you can take.
All right, just when you think you've got this figured out, the source adds another fascinating layer. In its final section, it tries to connect this religious and moral framework with the language of modern science. It's a pretty bold move.
And it actually lays out this clear, three-step process for how to do it. First, you have to control your focus. You consciously manage what you're seeing and hearing with your eyes and ears. Do that, and you'll achieve what it calls natural discipline. And here's the kicker.
The ultimate result it claims is that you can literally create different brain patterns. You can change how your brain is wired.
And this last quote, as jumbled as it is, really captures this final leap. It explicitly tries to connect the Quran to brain patterns difference, and then just kind of lands on the word science. It's a clear, if clumsy, attempt to give this ancient wisdom a stamp of approval for modern science.
So, at the end of the day, this is the massive question the source leaves us with. In a world full of high-tech surveillance, data centers, and these sprawling global scandals, it's asking us to think, could the answers actually lie not in new tech or new laws, but in ancient moral codes? It's definitely a provocative thought to chew on.